Just saw The Revenant, the new Leonardo DiCaprio flick, directed by
Inarritu,
Alejandro
Alejandro Inarritu.
Iñárritu.
Yeah.
The director of Birdman. This is the next one. This is his movie, the follow up to that. I thought it was it had I had high expectations, and it met many of those high expectations.
I agree.
And it had some extraordinary, great things that I loved in it. And then it had some other things that sort of like took me out of this world that he created. This miraculous, transcendent world.
I was only taken out at the very, very end. At the very end, there's a scene at the very end of the movie that I was like, it all seems really convenient.
A lot of things that are like, okay, and then this happened, and then this happened, and you're like, oh, this
a little Deus Ex Machina, a little bit, but it's a wonderfully shot film. The acting is exquisite. Like, it's the best thing I've ever seen Leonardo DiCaprio in, and he barely says anything. His character Hugh Glass is not a talkative guy. He probably says more in Pawnee than he says in English.
I want to say many things about this. So,
Tom Hardy is great too. Yeah, as is Donald Gleason.
I'm very opinionated, and this is I haven't had much time. I just came out of the theater to talk about it. But we were talking about it, and I thought, you know what this movie reminds me of? Pan's Labyrinth. And people are like, Pan's Labyrinth? What are you talking about? The people I saw it. And then I'm like, yeah, because it felt like a fairy tale to me.
Yeah, there's definitely aspects of that.
I'm in there, and I'm thinking, like, yo, this is based on a true story. There's going to be some, like, reality, and the way it's, like, demonstrated, and there's, like, reality in this thing. And I'm like, wow. And then things start to occur, like, they were like, oh my God, how coincidental, and this is just how people would react, and blah, blah, blah. Like, and you're like, wait a second, I don't know if someone will react like that, and what are the chances that this would actually happen? And for me, I'm like, oh, crap. And then I got that this is supposed to be like a fairy tale.
I would imagine. It definitely has aspects of it. The whole story is about a guy who does miraculous things,
Yeah, and that really, once I got that, and I got that at the end, like when you said that was the point where you were like, yo, this thing's going off the rails. That was the point where I go, this thing's going off the rails. Oh, it's a fairy tale.
I get that.
Right.
It's fine, and it follows definitely. It's based on a true story?
Based on a true story.
But fictionalized a great deal.
Yeah.
A great deal. There's a lot added to the story.
It reminds me of like something from like the Bible or something. Like, then I go down here and then this happens. And then I'm out on my own and then this happens. And then this happens.
And we shouldn't understate how beautifully shot this movie is. It's beautifully shot. It's just amazing visuals. It's all just outdoors in the winter, in the woods. It's just...
It might be one of the most beautiful films I've ever seen. It's definitely one of the most beautiful films I've ever seen. And I don't know if it was shot on film or what. I actually probably think it was shot digitally. I have no idea. But
I can't tell. That's
but
not,
I do
not
know
something I noticed.
I do know that they did not use any lighting. So
it was all natural lighting?
All natural lighting. They used reflectors, and then, they shot in daylight, and it was snow on the ground. So the snow is a natural reflected, so you get good shots. But, I mean, and you could tell, like, they went through it filming this thing.
Where they really notice that is in the interior shots, because everything's really dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple shots inside a fort or something, and it is dark.
Yeah, I wanted to say that they would show nature and they would do these panning shots, and there was many amazing shots. You should see this in the theater.
Yes, absolutely. It's worth seeing on a giant screen.
It was like nature was surreal. It was like a psychedelic thing going on. You're like getting hypnotized by what you're seeing. And it's so interesting because Hateful Eight was shot on 70 millimeter and 65 panorama, whatever they were to show. They wanted it to be epic, blah, 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 blah. This film should have been on 70 millimeter. And so, I mean, even though it wasn't, it was, I don't know, maybe it was because it was so gorgeous. I mean, and it used it too. It was like
the shots just filled, like long shots, distant shots, where the actor is a dot, practically a dot on the screen.
Oh my God!
The
cinematographer was spectacular. They do these swirl shots around, back around. They're not following any rules. They're just doing what they think is good. They're shooting 3 different shots of the actor in the water, and they're popping back from angle to angle to angle, and you're like,
DiCaprio does so much, by the way, with no
dialogue,
wordless through most of this movie.
Nearly a silent film.
On his part, Tom Hardy probably says more than Leonardo DiCaprio. Tom Hardy playing John Fitzgerald, which is kind of trippy for me, being a John Fitzgerald.
Right.
But he's the bad guy of the story. That's very clear in the previews. I'm not giving it away.
They tell you everything in the trailer. Anyway.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you got the idea. So. But he's great. He's fantastic. He really does. He transforms himself. He's practically a chameleon, Tom Hardy. He just transforms himself.
The more I think about this, aside from a couple moments of like feeling the length of it, there was a couple moments where I'm like, well, this is actually taking a while here.
Maybe purposefully, honestly.
Yeah. There's one shot though of like smoke into the clouds, into the character of John Fitzgerald smoking a pipe that all connects in one fluid thing.
I did not even notice.
I was like, oh my God! I was like, these dudes are just like
they're like shots of the sky.
They're putting art out there. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of shots of the sky that I was like, wow, how long are we going to be looking up at the sky?
Yeah, but there was a lot of shots where they look up at the trees, and then you're looking at the trees, and it's like, whoa, there's like a life to the nature in this.
That's true.
The more I talk about it, the more I actually like the film. So
I wonder how they did the bear thing. That's what I probably digital.
The bear attack was outrageous. All right, we've gone for 7 minutes. I'm gonna rate it.
What'd you think?
I'm gonna give it a 94.
I have to give it a 92. It's too good. I like other movies better, but the craftsmanship going into this film is so exceptional. The acting is top shelf. This is the best I've ever seen DiCaprio. Tom Hardy is phenomenal. Donald Gleason does a very nice job in a smaller role.
It's the best movie I've seen all year. The only movie I've seen all year.
In fairness, yeah, probably. Yeah, no. Well, it's for 2016. Revenant #1.
All right, we gotta go, but we loved it. I mean, maybe it dragged a little, but overall,
yeah, absolutely.
This is something to see in the theater. See it immediately. Rate, subscribe, share. Peace. We love you.